this street definitely wasn't from the "we're still happy and nothing could ever possibly go wrong" part of the movie. It was more from the "is it worth knocking on the door of that house for help when it's fairly likely that the people who live inside collect the fingers of tourists" part of the movie. It was an eerie, creepy, isolated street, but with a beautiful view. The house belonged to Mum's latest boyfriend, who she'd met while Rhiannon, Taylor and I were living in foster care. Brian, like all of Mum's boyfriends before him, was convinced that he would be the one to save her, the one to stop her from drinking. Like he had some magic formula for sobriety that none of us had thought of yet. Even at 10 years old, I would look at those guys and think, "Oh, you mean we just have to tell her that we don't want her to drink anymore? That we didn't really enjoy having our foster dad stick his hands down our pants and we would very much like to have a mother who doesn't put us in that position again? That she just needs to be strong and choose Diet Coke instead? Why didn't we fucking think of that?" When we first arrived at Brian's house, there was a giant Confederate flag hanging on the main wall in the living room. Oh, good, I thought. Mum's choice in men continues to be top-notch. Seriously, if you were dating someone, got back to their place for the first time, and saw that on the wall, how could you not immediately push life's panic button and get the hell out of there? But besides smoking pot 24 hours a day, which essentially turned the house into a giant Dutch oven, I'm sure I was permanently stoned from ages 9 to 14, I thought he was a nice guy at the time. I didn't know any better. Just another guy who got caught in my mother's irresistible web and planned to revolutionize the way alcoholism was treated, maybe even cure it, through the power of love. He did not cure alcoholism through the power of love. If he had, I would have been pissed off, to be honest, since Mum's love for her daughters hadn't cured anything. She would always love booze most of all. Wine in a box was her favourite. And if she wouldn't give it up for us, at least she wasn't giving it up for anyone else. That would have stung. Brian did what he could, though. He was the one who picked me up when I faked a broken ankle to get out of running cross-country. Granted, I faked the broken ankle because he had initially refused to pick me up, and I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to get home, so I figured an ambulance could get the job done. I hadn't anticipated the ambulance would take me to the hospital and not just conveniently drop me off at my front door after maybe stopping at Macca's on the way. It all started when I came third in my primary school cross-country. I can't remember how long it was. I think only about 3 kilometres, but I was not even close to being an athletic person. Sports and the obligation to compete in organised sporting activities was abhorrent to me. As far as my PE teachers were concerned, I had permanently had my period from birth and would therefore be unable to climb that rope, /swing or bat, /torture myself in your horrific beep test. When I ended up in private school in year 10, where sport is considered more important than learning to read, my period excuse was often dismissed by the female teachers, who seemed to have this magical way of knowing that I could not possibly have blood gushing out of me 29 days of every month. Aware that I needed to try a different tack, I started earnestly telling them that I couldn't participate in PE because I had a bone in my foot. I would always say it quietly, like I found it humiliating, like I was sharing a shameful secret with them that only a select few knew. At first, I just wanted to see if I could use a ridiculously idiotic excuse to successfully get out of physical activity.